I think of my kids, they're 6 and 7 now. The world is crazy, and it feels like it's getting crazier. Although sometimes I read about the history in Corinth and I think, actually,
Maybe
we probably
not.
are not that much crazier than it was before.
That's right.
But the one thing I'm aware of is God made them for this generation. He made my kids for their generation.
Yeah.
He didn't make them for mine. He's given them grace for the complexities of their generation.
Yeah.
And I think as parents sometimes, or as church leaders, looking at the younger guys, and just we can carry worry and fear for them,
So true.
which I think the enemy is sowing, because we've got to understand God knows the timing of who he creates when. And he knows the grace required for each generation. He knew the grace required for generations of Christians who were fed to lions. He knows the grace required for a new generation of Christians having to answer in a gender fluid world. There's enough grace in each generation for the challenges that it brings.
Wow, that's such an amazing statement there. And, for any of you that are living in a little bit of fear and apprehension, God has designed your children to be born for such a time as this. And Katia, Duncan and I really believe that God has designed this generation to be the ones that would love Jesus for all his worth.
Yes.
And not have all the shame and the religious form that stops us just being worshippers.
Yes.
Worshippers in spirit and truth.
Yes.
And, if God can capture the hearts, then it's just, I'm all in.
Yes.
I'm all in. There's a move of God. And, I think back to other generations, God did different things, but just worshiping Jesus for who he is.
Yes.
If our young people can grasp hold of that by the Spirit, then that will change a nation. It will change a generation.
Absolutely.
And we're already beginning to see that the harvest is really speeding up.
Yes.
Especially to our under 25s.
Yes.
Because most people give their life to Jesus under the age of 25.
Yeah.
And, sometimes I feel now as a grandmother that we're just trying to facilitate opportunities for young people to express what God has put on them for their generation, and not think, well, this is how we did it, so we got to go here.
Yes.
And I think that's what you're saying, that there's a grace, not only to be able to stand in truth, but there's also a grace to be able to go in a different direction to those that have gone before.
Absolutely.
And how do you facilitate that in your church?
Well, our church is a very young church. So
Is it?
the average age of our members are definitely under the age of 25.
Wow, fantastic.
In fact, Julian and I, for a long time, were the oldest people in the room, which was really new for us. Neither of us had that experience before.
Wow.
I turned 40 this year, and I had some conversations that made me laugh so much, because people would be asking me how I was feeling, almost like it was a death sentence. But of course, everyone's so young. They couldn't imagine 40. It sounds ancient.
No.
I think the thing is that if we genuinely walk in honor, both to those who are younger and those who are older, that allows grace to flow from generation to generation. If in our generation we look at those older than us and walk in contempt, we judge them, we
That's right.
we despise the things that they walked in, then actually you reap what you sow. There's a reality of sowing that in your life, which you just don't want to do at all. You want to stay away from that. So there is an invitation, I think, in the kingdom for us. I'm kind of in the middle generation here.
You are, yes.
So I feel like the invitation very personally to me, to be able to look at a previous generation and not nitpick all the things they didn't know. Every generation builds on, the kingdom is going from glory to glory. That means by design, each generation builds on the revelation of another. So it's not for me to look at a previous generation and ridicule them for not having the revelation that is in my generation. That's by design. And so I've got to be able to honor what has gone before without having to judge whatever wasn't there. And also I've got to look at a younger generation and not require them to do things in my way, recognize actually their generation will build on the revelation that I have and will build on the inadequacies of it. God will reveal greater glory to them. And what I've carried in revelation won't actually be enough to sustain their journey, because they're going to go that bit further. And so it's being able to release those who are going the next generation and not have a rigid requirement for them to do what you've done and the way you've done it. I'm not saying that's easy.
No, it isn't.
This is
very,
not
it's
easy.
very challenging because,
Totally.
you know, it's all about me, right? Often. And we realize, no, it's not about us.
Yeah.
You know, we're serving others.
Yes.
And we're called to love them and release them. But yet
Absolutely.
there is such a beautiful thing when the generations can flow together.
Yes.
Thank you for watching this video today. We hope it blessed your life. Please subscribe to our channel and click on the notifications, because we've got some great things that we're going to be sharing with you soon. May God bless you as we go on this journey together.